At its very best, steak is absolutely delicious, but it can also be a bit of a nightmare when it's not prepared properly. And if you're not particularly well versed in the wonderful ways of steak, you should definitely expect there to be a bit of a learning curve as you seek out the succulent steak dinner of your dreams. Word of advice? Definitely expect to endure a bit of trial and error before figuring out what kind of steak suits your particular palate. Here's one rookie mistake that's easy enough to avoid. Don't assume you can just grab any old cut of meat, heat it up, and hunker down to enjoy a 5-star meal. No, young grasshopper, that's not the way to get a truly superior cut of steak on that dinner plate. But don't be intimidated. After trying a few different kinds of steak, you'll start to discover whether you like it to be a little bit on the fatty side or even a bit lean. Hey, perhaps you even like a bit of chew. And who are we to judge? First, selecting the cut of steak is highly important. And make no mistake, there's quite a lot of options out there, from the sublime tastiness of ribeye steak to a few other cuts that are perhaps best avoided. Honestly, the amount of options out there can be rather overwhelming, and an untrained eye won't know what's first-rate and what should be relegated to the trash bin. Meanwhile, some cuts of steak receive endless heaps of praise, while others turn out to be rather underrated at the end of the day. And do you want to know the most underrated cut of which we speak? Of course you do. According to Thrillist, it's hanger steak, an extremely delicious cut from the short plate under the rib of the cow. Highly popular among chefs, many foodies have discussed its relative obscurity despite how very tasty it is. For example, William DeMarco, the corporate executive chef of Las Vegas's Crush and Le Cave Wine and Food Hideaway, had this to say: "You have the tenderness of the filet and the flavor of the New York. It's also known as the butcher steak because the butchers used to keep it for themselves rather than sell it." Jesse Schenker of Two Spring agreed, claiming that the most underrated cut is hanger because it hangs close to all the organs and all the blood, which gives it a lot of flavor and richness. That's not to say every chef is quite so gung-ho about hanger steak. For example, David Guaz of Bayou Bakery says, "It's been hanging around every bistro for far too long." Kate Kavanaugh of Western Daughters Butcher Shop also thinks the cut isn't all it's cracked up to be. Here's how she describes hanger steaks. Comprising only about 1.5 pounds of a 900-pound steer, this cut, while delicious, is best served infrequently and only bought from your local butcher shop. Well, we absolutely love hanger steak and think it's truly underrated. But there are certainly some other underappreciated cuts that are worth giving a try. David Guas personally feels that Tritip is the true king of the neglected bits of beef. Here's what he has to say about this delicious triangular bottom sirloin cut. "It is probably the least expensive, best taste of beef you can purchase. There's not a lot of connective tissue, so it cooks very quickly and easily. It has been my go-to meat for grilling. It has a way of soaking in the wonderful flavors and allowed a slight caramelization on the outside." Steve McHugh of Cured evidently agrees, and he also offers a wonderfully simple grilling tip that will truly bring out the best of the cut, along with a wine recommendation. Serve it with a good marinade and cook to medium rare on the grill, and you have a nice sliceable steak to pair with a little chimichurri and a good Malbec. But what do you think? We strongly advise giving each of these recommendations a try, and pretty soon you'll find out exactly what kind of steak you like.
You like steak?
I do.
I deliver steak.
Do you?
Good steak.
Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more MASH videos about your favorite foods are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.